again, everybody. You're with Tom and Fern. I'm Tom.
I'm Fern.
And this is, introduce him briefly, please.
This is David Baas, former lineman for the Riverview Rams, went on to play at Michigan, and then had a 9-year career in the NFL for the 49ers and the Giants. And why don't we just focus in on the what he won as a member of the Giants. That's a huge Super Bowl ring. But Dave, they're even bigger now. As we said outside, they're like mailbox sizes now. Just talk about that one and how you never wear it.
Well, it's one of those that I'm very proud to wear it when I do wear it, and I keep it safe. And they just seem to get gaudier and gaudier the next year, but everybody's got to outdo each other. So, the Patriots does look like a giant mailbox.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I remember seeing like the first ones somewhere in Sports Illustrated, like on the 50-year anniversary edition. They had like all the rings, Yeah. So like the first one for the Packers had like a little P, one little
like
rock.
High school classroom or something.
They use a lot of the the gold versus the the platinum or silver stuff nowadays. It was just the old school, but it means all the same thing regardless of what year it was.
Yeah,
now wait a minute, you won a state title. Did they get a ring back there? Was it like a cigar band back there?
Yeah, no, actually my wife had to buy it for me. Like she went out and bought me one like about 10 years ago. So, yeah,
we just finished making the payments on it.
Yeah, that faux gold.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right, well, we this is all about us, actually, not you.
I'll just go.
So we got to go over last week's picks. We had our inaugural I was picking and you were grinning contest because, let's see.
You certainly weren't picking.
I picked my alma mater, Palmetto, to beat Manatee and came up short on that one. You and Sheriff Knight went with Manatee and won that. We all went with VENICE against Mooney. Boy, we took a licking on Booker at Sarasota. Booker won that one. No, Sarasota won that one.
Sarasota won that one easily.
Yeah, easily. The High Sheriff took Texas at Notre Dame. That was a bad pick, sir.
That was as bad a blowout.
Yeah, that was a bad pick, sir.
Bad pick, sir.
Yeah. We all, in the Smart Bowl, we all went with Stanford versus Northwestern, and we turned out not to be too smart on that pick. I went out on a limb with Wisconsin at Alabama. That was not a good pick. And then we all went out on a limb and took Florida State over Texas State. So I was 3-4, Sheriff was 4-3, and Fern was 5-2. So
as a sports writer should be. Beating out the editorial page guy. Yeah.
All right. So should we do this week's picks?
Let's just do them right now.
All right,
Dave knows the calls. Yeah,
all right, here we go. Riverview at Venice.
Sorry, Dave. Got to go with Venice. Rams are 0-2 this year and having a little trouble.
I know, but I'm going to surprise you here. When teams are backed up and they face adversity, what better scenario to go into somebody's house that's doing really well and beat them? So I'm going to go out on a limb and stay loyal, and I'm going to pick the Rams.
Yeah, good. That's what men of character do.
That's what men of character.
Yeah, they go with their
and very strong limbs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to pick Venice. Palmetto at Southeast. Palmetto for me.
Yeah, Palmetto for me. Southeast is still in rebuilding mode, and Palmetto looks good.
Yeah, I agree. Palmetto.
All right, Oregon at Michigan State. I'm going with the Spartans.
So am I. No Mariota this year. Oregon won last year, but I'm going Michigan State.
Yeah, I think Michigan State also.
All right. So you played there 4 times probably, huh? At Michigan State?
Yep.
Great campus, isn't it?
We didn't lose. But anyway, if Michigan State, their defense shows up, obviously they got a bitter taste in their mouth from last season with Oregon. If they show up and stop the run, or at least keep them to a minimum, I think Michigan State can definitely win this one.
All right, LSU at Mississippi State. I'll take the Tigers.
Oh, LSU. They beat LSU last year, but they've lost it 12 times before that. So yeah, I'm going LSU.
Yeah, LSU. I have a buddy that's a Mississippi State grad, and he definitely gave me that wink, like we are not going to win. So I'm going LSU.
I wish we had those inside information things. Yeah.
So ever once, like in college, if your mascot's the Tigers, you're like yellow and purple at LSU, and you're like orange and purple. Or whatever that is at Clemson. I was like, what's up with that? How come nobody has
that'd be the
orange and black?
Tigers, right?
Yeah,
Auburn Tigers. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Auburn too. Blue and white.
Maybe it's just a favorite.
Things differently.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Maybe it's a favorite Tigers color. I don't know.
It's not like maize. What color is maize?
Maize is like a yellow.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. All right. Tonight, Pittsburgh at New England. I'll take New England. Pains me to say. All right, never mind. Yeah,
let's see. Let's go right to you, Dave. We'll give you this airtime.
I think New England is going to pull this one. It's in Foxborough. You got Brady, who's all fired up, and especially when he gets challenged, he is not. He rises to that challenge. And Steelers are losing a couple key players. They're a good team, but I don't think they pull it off.
Except when they played the Giants in the Super Bowl, right? All right, Tennessee at Tampa Bay. I'm actually going to go with the home team.
I'm going with Tennessee. What I saw in Tampa Bay in the preseason, even again, the Redskins are different. I didn't like what I saw.
What you saw?
What I saw in the preseason.
All right.
All right, so he's going with Tennessee.
Still rails on me after 20 years.
Golly. All right. Well, I'm going with Tennessee. I think it's a battle of who makes the least amount of mistakes. I feel like the Bucs will improve. I don't think the Bucs fans should be that down on themselves, but I feel like they're going to get beat on this one. That's just my feeling.
All right, so let's actually shift back to you. So what do people not understand about playing, particularly offensive line in the NFL? Anything in particular that jumps out at you?
Well, really, we're kind of the people underneath the helmet, and we put in our work, and it's it's a tough job for sure, and a lot of other people get more of the face time and the recognizable athletes, like Eli, obviously, but we're all one and the same. I mean, we really put forth that effort to go out there and help our teammates win each and every week, and we're kind of just the road graders, the hard workers that don't need all the praise, and go out there and do our job each and every week. So that's kind of what we pride ourselves on. But it takes its toll. I mean, obviously, we were talking about trying to get my 14th surgery up here pretty soon. But that's part of the game, and it's something that, I wouldn't change.
You played 9 years, won a Super Bowl ring. You're going to be ecstatic about your career. But you just mentioned going into your 14th surgery. Can you rip them off right now? I asked you before. Give me your 14 surgeries that you've had right now. Just give me a laundry list.
Ankle, I think 3 or 4 on my right knee, left knee. We're going hip. We're going both pectorals, my wrist, my elbow, my shoulder, got some other issues in my neck, and I've had torn hamstring, torn patella, or plantar fascia, sorry. So it's a long list, but you know what? I mean, it's like I said, it's part of it, and you just have to try and improve your health as much as you can after the game.
Yeah, we'll get you a glossary of all these medical terms later.
Patella, is that
Rick
Patella?
No,
is that a wrestler or something?
Ken
Patella.
It's a Spanish rice dish, seafood patella.
Right, But wait a minute, it was all worth it, right?
It was.
I mean, all the injuries were worth it.
Right. I feel like it was. There's a lot of debate, obviously with the NFL and the concussions and all that stuff like that. I've had 5 documented in the NFL and a lot more, before that. But, I think it's definitely a subject that we need to make sure that we emphasize, especially when you start with the youth. I mean, that's where it starts, right down there, getting the proper equipment, showing these kids how to tackle correctly, and it still can be a safe game. And some things happen. I mean, I got a guy thrown in my leg. I was big and strong, and I got a guy thrown in my leg, and there's nothing you can do about that. I ripped my ligament off, and I had to have surgery. I mean, that happens.
Yeah. Actually, I heard Ohio State is only going to contact maybe like twice a week now, and very short, 20, 30 minutes of contact. So.
Yeah, and I feel like on a lot of different levels, you have to, a specific coach has to do that per team, because it's one of those where some guys may not be mature enough to handle that, where they need, maybe a little bit more discipline. But if he feels like that's going to work for him, then, great. I mean, I hope it doesn't, but that's coming from a Michigan guy.
Yeah. I got to ask you, you played every position on the offensive line. Did you have one guy in particular, and he may not have been a great player, but gave you a hard time every time you faced him, and maybe you even didn't look forward to facing this guy looking across the line at him? Was there one guy that stands out in your career?
No, there doesn't,
right.
Or there isn't. It's one of those where I tried to go into every single game, especially even the Super Bowl. Everybody wanted to talk about Vince Wilfork, and he is a great player, and give him all the respect in the world. But it's one of those where if I sat there and I thought about him the entire time and didn't think about my job and what I was supposed to do to help my team win, then he's already won, and that was the thing. I'm a good player, that's why I'm here. That's why we're here.
Sure.
So it was one of those, I didn't let that ever get to me no matter who I faced.
Yeah, we say the same thing every time we come to this table. Like if we think about each other, our matchup, what will we do?
No matchup
yeah, we're pros. Well, actually, what level do you have the most fun at?
I would, man, that is tough. I enjoyed my days at Riverview for sure. And there's certain things you can get away with, back when I was younger. But college was really exciting. I feel like that was, probably the best. And you look at a lot of people that drive around town. I mean, a lot of people have NFL, things on their cars, but everybody has their college, and they're, it's more diehard versus, NFL is kind of, bandwagonish sometimes.
Yeah,
so I'd say college was probably the best experience.
And that's a big house. That's a big house you're playing in.
Yeah, no matter if it was my, freshman year or my senior season, when you run down that tunnel and you get the goosebumps and, you get nervous. I mean, didn't matter.
I got to ask you this. We had him on last week, and we really gave him a few jabs. You played for John Sprague. Do you have a PG story or even an NC-17 story that you can tell about Sprague as your head coach?
Hey, that man, I'll tell you what, he has done a lot for not only Riverview, but the community. And I feel like he is a really good person in terms of a coach, and just, helping his players get to where they can go, they can succeed in life. And he's done so much for that program, so much for me. I can't say, enough good things about him, but that's the thing. I can't think of a PG story right now.
Well, we're a family station.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Most of them, Oh, here, I'll tell you one. So right. John Sprague, beep, 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 beep. Hey, yeah, beep. That's about all you're gonna get.
So when you're on the offensive line, and we see the uptights, and everybody's motioning, and the quarterback is calling signals and stuff. Like, how much of that's real? How much of it's not?
It's real.
I mean, it's real. I mean, so it actually means something.
But they use dummy signals, right? Yeah. Some quarterbacks.
Yeah, they'll do dummy signals, right. And some quarterbacks will have the option to go up there and actually change the plays themselves, whereas certain teams will go up there and they'll have options. So we could switch something. We could call a play. He could come up to the line and basically reverse the play, go the other way, and then he could go back and switch it back again. Right. So there's or he could go from run to pass, and that's where centers don't get a lot of credit, but they have to be smart. You cannot have somebody up there that doesn't know what they're doing, because if you're switching on these plays, I mean, you're literally the backup quarterback. So you've got to get everybody on the same page, or it's going to break down and you're not going to have success.
That's right. The center is the one making the calls. Are you looking up, identifying the Mike linebacker and stuff, or is that the quarterback pointing that out?
Team to team, it depends. Right. So, I did more of that in San Francisco. And then some teams, they say Eli is he's the captain, he runs the ship, he points out the mic,
right.
But other times they're like, well, you need to point out the mic too, and all that stuff. So it varies, but you have to be on the same page regardless.
I know. Maybe we got to get the translation for you. A mic linebacker basically is the middle linebacker.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yes,
yeah, Mr. Clarinet in the band.
I know you were mostly on your back on your play, so maybe you didn't recognize what was going on behind you.
Actually, you almost, speaking of playing music, playing musical instrument, you were a trumpeter for a while.
Yeah, I was. So I have to back you up on that. Yeah, I was until Sprague, come here, boy.
What was your high note? Were you good? I mean, again, two horn plays. Could you get a high C and a little bit above that, or?
I don't remember. All I remember is I could play the Indiana Jones theme song. That's about it.
And you're so modest. You never blow your own horn. Yeah. So I sort of like that.
Yeah. Unlike somebody else. I'm glad
he pulled me out. And
unlike the two guys on this.
So one more thing. So you guys, you go from college and you go to the NFL combines, and they have you run the 40-yard dash. Mm-hmm. Did you ever run 40 yards in your
it's not necessary.
Not really, no. And
why don't they have you do like the 10-yard dash?
Right,
the 20.
That's
the
20-yard. They do. They do break it up to where you have like the 20-yard, then they time you at 30, 40, all that stuff. And I did pretty good at I think it was 3:16. I ran a 5 flat, but my fastest, I still hold the record for the fastest. I think it's 20 yards. so that burst, which is good for an offensive lineman.
Cool.
That's what you need.
Yeah, cool.
You know, we could talk to you all day. I got to ask you. You say you're 300 pounds. You're the most in shape 300-pound guy I've ever seen. You played at what weight, and what do you weigh now?
I played at 316. I'm probably 320, maybe a little bit more now. But like I said, I've fallen off the wagon a little bit here. You know, indulged a little bit. But that's kind of the thing that you always have inside you is that work ethic. Even if I do enjoy myself a little bit, I know when it's time to get back to the grind, and I'll go do that. So
You got to get off that chili judge circuit.
Oh,
there
no,
that
I'm
you've been
doing
on.
that.
Oh, yeah.
The fireman's chili cook-off here.
Oh, I'm doing that one. So.
Hey, how about last question?
Last
But
question.
I know we've been going on. You were smart with your money. What are you doing now, you and your wife?
Well, we have a couple, rental investments, and I was just in North Carolina scouting some properties, and I was, doing a couple auction things there. I didn't get what I wanted there, but that's kind of the route we're going, and we'll see if that takes off or if I really like that. But I want to do something that I really enjoy, so I'll figure.
Well,
that
you
out
really
too.
enjoy this, right? Sitting between us.
Yeah, this is nice.
This is nice.
Fun. Yeah.
All right, we got to end on that. Thanks.
Yeah, on that.
Before we ruin your career.
Thank you very much.
Great
I
seeing
appreciate
you
it.
again.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot.
All right.
Appreciate it.
See ya.
See you next week.